and gentlemen, a beautiful day as usual, getting us together in this one-on-one debate, special edition of the program, The Profile, where we are currently profiling activities of the Bangui Cultural and Development Association. Remember that it's a village located in the Tuba subdivision in Mezam division in the northwest region of the country. This time, we're talking with stakeholders, of course, who have been piloting the affairs in order to ensure the cultural promotion of Bacuda, as it is abbreviated, and its development back home in the northwest region of Cameroon. This time, we will be talking to someone who has been very, very influential, of course, has took the test of time in terms of managing the affairs of Bacuda. In other words, is no other person than Mr. Chungong Polikop Akonwi, who is the recent past president of Bacuda. President Emeritus, it's a pleasure meeting you today.
Thank you.
And when we talk about President Bacuda, now your term of office, you've had some experience in the functioning of Bacuda activities. Now, when you look at the role Bacuda sets in towards the development of the Bamboo community in the Northwest region, what can be your assessments as of now?
I can say the achievements of Bacuda towards the development of Bamboo have really been monumental.
Okay.
A lot has been achieved,
Right.
thanks to the existence of Bacuda.
Okay.
And right now, a good Bamboo, compared to some 20 years ago, you see a remarkable difference.
Okay.
We've constructed bridges. We've done the first major project of Bacuda was the Bamboo Water Project.
Okay.
Which the entire village, almost the entire village, is now enjoying. After which we went to do some bridges, and now the next and most important one now is the police project.
All right. Now, Mr. Chungong Polikop Akonwi, now, most of the time we see your projects coming up, just like we used to see your Royal Majesty in front of Bangui constantly, sometimes carrying trips abroad. Now, with all of these, where do you harness the financial contributions to get these giant projects, as you spoke of, even including the water project in Bangui?
The resources have come mainly from the benevolence of the Bambui population,
Okay.
both at home and the diaspora.
All right.
Initially, the diaspora was lukewarm, dragging,
Okay.
but a couple of years back, they joined the train,
Okay.
and are giving us a very big push.
Right. Now, when we look at Bambui as far as the developmental projects put in place by Bacuda is concerned, do you see a remarkable change and impact within the people who come from Bambui, that's the community itself?
Of course, yes. The population or the indigenous Bamboo people initially were also very warm, but after a lot of sensitization
Okay.
over the years, they have now seen and bought the idea of Bacuda.
Okay.
Because at first it used to be considered as an issue for those of us coming from outside the village.
All right.
As they say, Bamboo, we enter and Bacuda here. You know, like you are coming home, you about that issue.
Yeah.
But now it's the entire village.
Okay.
And right now, they are the highest source of our income.
All right. Now, you run projects at a time when Bambui is fast becoming a cosmopolitan village, so to say, because of their nearness to the university milieu and other academic establishments within the area. How do you tackle these challenges when it has to do with preserving culture and bringing about development in the community?
I would say it's really challenging because, like every other cosmopolitan settlement,
Yeah.
the culture is faces a lot of challenges.
Okay.
Because you have people coming from all parts of the country, and at times outnumbers the local population,
Okay.
and you find the culture virtually being effaced.
All right.
But Bamboo being what it is, we are doing everything possible to maintain our culture.
All right.
So this is found in the frequent traditional activities that are being organized,
Okay.
and also in the carrying out activities which promote the culture of Bamboo.
Okay. And now, from time to time, we'll see the Royal Majesty, the Fort of Bamboo, giving titles to people like you. We see you with the red feather on. Maybe you tell us how it goes as we used to witness from time to time during the annual general meetings.
Well, it's simply a sign of recognition.
Okay.
And once you do good, everybody sees.
Okay.
And the decision to give decorations come from the P fund. And it is said that the grass is the eyes of the grass is the eyes of the P fund.
Okay.
So whatever you do anywhere in the village, somebody sees.
All right.
At least some people see.
Now let's get to some of the titles. Your title, people want to know some of the titles that are given because they have some meanings in the dialect that can now be translated to give a meaning in the English language. So maybe we could get some of them, including the one which you have.
Yes, this is called the red feather, which is common in the grass fields.
Okay.
And initially, it was in ancient times given to those very brave ones.
Okay.
Who could go and catch let's say
To be a lion, a leopard.
yeah, the animals were very rare and powerful.
Okay.
You know, and present to the palace.
Okay.
And they were rewarded with the red feather.
All right.
So nowadays, those animals are no more there, the forests are no more there, those animals are not there. It's now in terms of achievement.
All right.
What have we done towards the benefit of Bamboo?
All right.
I'm proud to tell you that this I have a score which is higher than this one, which I think is the highest in the village.
All right.
Unfortunately, I didn't do it on today. That one is reserved for very, very special traditional occasions.
Okay.
And right here, my colleague. In fact, those ones have not been given in Bamboo for so many years,
All right.
so many decades.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, a few of us were privileged to be honored with that particular decoration.
All right. Now, we were watching Mr. Chumbong Bodika Akongmi, the immediate past president of the Bamboo Cultural and Development Association, to be with us in this special program, the Profile, consecrated to the activities of Bamboo Cultural and Development Association. Now, with the project you just mentioned, water project and all the like, we get to understand that in the midst of all that, even in your tenure of office, it looks like Bacuda has interest on promoting education. Maybe we get that point of view.
Sure. That's one of the points I missed out on. But it's one of the most important projects of Bacuda.
Okay.
We are involved in a scholarship awards to students.
Okay.
And from during my tenure, we maintained and we improved on it.
Okay.
And we have a scholarship board, which at the end of every year selects the best and underprivileged students in primary schools and sponsor them in secondary schools.
All right. So before we come back to the others who will be intervening, as we're having Mr. Tomato Emmanuel, we will be having the president, the current president general, who will be coming on board this program. Now, before we take leave of you, we understand you'll be holding series of meetings because each year is like you have an agenda on the ground to put in place or to harness finances that could carry out the developmental project. Now, 2019, 2018, it's true you are in another person's mandate, but how do you look at the move towards taking project fast within the Bamboo Fund is concerned?
Actually, this year we're faced with lots of problems. The socio-political problem affecting the North and South regions have had a very serious blow on our objectives.
Okay.
And as you can see, our plans this year are to move away from our tradition of assembling the Bamboo Fund.
Okay.
We shall be having our annual meeting, but in Douala.
Okay.
And this year we're faced with lots of problems. The socio-political problem affecting the North and South regions have had a very serious blow on our objectives.
Okay.
And as you can see, our plans this year are to move away from our tradition of assembling the Bamboo Fund.
Okay.
We shall be having our annual meeting, but in Douala.
Okay.
And this is mainly because we have target at hand.
Right.
We target to move the multi-purpose project, which is in the palace.
Okay.
And we intend to raise funds during this AGM
Right.
to achieve that objective.
Well, focusing on the Palace project, which appears to be one of the most giant and influential projects in Bambui village in Tuba subdivision in Bezam division in the northern region of Cameroon. Now, President Emeritus Chungom Ponikam Akwanmi, maybe you give us the genesis of this Palace project.
Yeah, it's always been our desire to give Bambui Palace an uplift. And as far back as 2004, under late barrister Olu Innocent, coincidentally when his office here, with him as president in 2004, we agreed to give the palace a complete face change.
Okay.
Because the structures were dilapidated, they were almost collapsing, and in fact they were an eyesore. So we went ahead under him and got an architect who gave us a design for us for the Queen's section, but that was the worst affected, and the section for the fund. The work started, some funds were raised, and the work started, but unfortunately it ended at the level of foundations, because some foundations were done for 6 structures to house the queens. It stopped there, and when the full project went into some slumber until when I took over in 2011 as President General. My executive took it as a priority to relaunch this project because we saw the Queen's structures really in their need of replacement. They were almost facing the risk of being killed by the collapsing structures. So we took that as a challenge, and luckily the opportunity saw with us. And 2012, the first AGM under my tenure, we launched the project and raised the highest amount ever in the history of Bacuda of 13 million rands. With that, we worked hand in hand with the Bambui Village Council, whose chairman by then, whose chairman came in at the same time with me, Mr. John Chami, also had as objective to ensure that we succeed in this project. So we went ahead and worked towards this and jointly realized the structures from the foundation were existing already. So we continued from the level of the foundations and realized 5 structures to house 10 queens. These structures were modern, they are modern structures with from previously each queen was having just one room with mud blocks. And the room was serving both as a kitchen and a sleeping room for herself and the children. So we transformed, and for each queen now had 2 bedrooms, a sitting room, a water system toilet, kitchen, in fact self-contained, and an external kitchen or store for food store. So we realized that for the 10 apartments, and this costed Bacuda close to 50 million francs. This was realized in 2.5 years. After that, 2014, we saw the need to change the initial plan of a section for the fund and do a multi-purpose hall project, which is what we are presently executing. What pushed us towards this was particularly what I saw in a few other places. This very much motivated me and changed the plan, and together with a team and the architect produced a new design which puts together a grandstand, a hall which can take about 1,500 people seated, and then upper floor we have an auditorium, and we have offices for all the business institutions, rest house, within it. And right now we are working seriously on that. We've gone right now to the point of roofing, and we are now looking for funds to
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, we'll be thanking you for taking your special time to talk to us. But any last words to the Bambui community, especially those who are lagging behind and not wanting to take full contribution into the developmental projects earmarked for the community?
Well, our motto is Ladder.
Okay.
Unity is strength.
Okay.
So I'm calling on all the Bambui elements, no matter wherever they are, to look back and ensure that they multiply their efforts towards the development of the village. Right. Because we have no other village rather than Bambui, and it's our common pride to see it come out as one of the best villages in Juba subdivision.
Thank you, Mr. Chingombo Kawakonwe, for this special profile consecrated to Bacuda, and we hope to meet you at the AGM meeting shortly in Douala on the 20th of April.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we'll take you to a musical interlude. Let's enjoy traditional music from Bambui. We'll be right back. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome once more back to this special edition. Of course, we've gotten to the views of Mr. Chumbong Poliko. This time, we are in the company of Mr. Tumeto Emmanuel, who is the chairperson of the Bangui Palace projects. Mr. Chairman, it's a pleasure being with you today.
Thank you.
And you really look traditional inclined. I see you with your own feather. Is it from the Bangui Palace?
Right, Bangui Palace.
All right. Does it also signify that you're a strong man in those, like you've done a lot for Bangui people?
Of course.
The Bangui community?
Of course.
All right.
Once you see this and someone said no, that he has done a lot for the village.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Tumeto Emmanuel. Now, you are the chairman of the Bangui Palace project. We understand it's quite demanding, of course. Now, we'll talk about Bangui Palace project. In real terms, what estimates in terms of budget are we talking about?
In terms of budget, it's quite huge. Quite huge. I think my predecessor, Mr. Chungo, told me that the Queen section alone took over 50 million.
Okay.
The project we have in hand now is above 150 million.
All right.
And you will not go to mention the water project. He mentioned that the whole village is benefiting, you see. So they are quite huge projects, and in terms of budget, it's a matter of hundreds of millions.
Now, let's come now to the giant structure that we see on our screen there, which is found at the grandstand, still in the palace. Now, we hear it's a whole complex area. We hear there'll be rooms up for visitors to sleep there, like hotel rooms, offices. So maybe you give us highlight on that project.
In fact, the way the project was conceived, we tried to make sure upon completion, the project will house all the village institutions.
Okay. Such as?
Such as the traditional council,
right.
The Fumbwen, which is the women's section of the ruling body.
Okay.
The Bacuda, which is the Bangui Women's Cultural Association. Bacuda itself,
right.
The youth.
Okay.
You will also house a museum.
Right.
And the library.
That's interesting.
Yes. Not forgetting that the building itself is holding the grandstand.
Okay.
Very big grandstand for all our manifestations.
All right. Okay. Now, when we look at the section that is reserved for women's activities, just like I spoke to the Royal Majesty of Bamboo sometime, we hear you give a lot of preference to women, which is different from other traditional settings. Could that be so?
Of course, we almost doing equal.
Okay.
Almost doing equal because it is understood what the man can do, the woman can also do.
All right.
So we join hands together to ensure that the projects are realized. In fact, they are backbone to the project.
Right. Now, when you set up a project of this nature, Mr. Chairman of the Bamboo Palace project, so much money, hundreds of millions of francs CFA are required now. You've been battling with the projects for some time. In your assessment, what percentage are we as far as the project is concerned, and how do you think, and how soon do you think we will be able to arrive at the completion phase of the Bamboo Palace project?
The main project being at the roofing level now, I will estimate the project when roofed should be about 60%.
Okay.
Because you know the finishing is quite demanding too.
Yeah.
So by the time we finish roofing, we would have been about 60-65% gone, and we still have a lot of need for the finishing.
Okay. Now, with their levies, how do you set up their levies for people to assist? What's the levy reserve for men? Levy reserve for women? Maybe the other branches that are in the 10 regions, branches in the diaspora. How do you work out that mathematical calculations to get the funding from the Bamboo sons and daughters around the world?
In fact, I will not emphasize on the levies.
Okay.
Because left to the levies alone, you see, we will not even realize. We have a minimum amount, you see, of about 10,000 for women, 20 for men per year. You see, but that is not what makes it possible for us to carry on with the project.
Okay.
You see, the whole Bamboo community is so engaged that at every camp together, you see, people contribute without paying attention to the levy.
Right.
You see others contributing 100,000, 500,000. You see, the diaspora of recent, you see, started sending money to in the bulk.
Okay.
So we will not necessarily talk only of levies because we want to go down to levies and not be able to carry on this project.
All right. Now, Mr. Chairman Tomato Emmanuel of the Bamboo Palace project now, it's true you are not a financial secretary, and when issues like this are put on the table, people will want to know how transparent is the management of these levies or contributions that come from the sons and daughters of Bamboo. How is it being managed? Do you feel satisfied?
Very, very satisfied. This transparency, the project speaks for himself, for itself. Because to those who know, who can best calculate, when you look at the project and then you imagine how much money was raised, you are satisfied. You know, not only Bamboo is engaged in contributing money for this project.
Yeah.
We have a lot of friends. You know, Bamboo has our hospitality.
Right.
You see, it makes us have many friends who always come to help to contribute. And in fact, when they look at the project, they're satisfied. You see, it is not possible to call people every year to contribute, and they keep contributing.
Okay.
It is because they're satisfied with what's going on.
Right.
Yes.
So if we look at the satisfaction you see now, as the chairman of this Bamboo Palace project, how soon do you think the project can be completed, though quite demanding?
Though quite demanding, not of the sociocultural, the problems, the crisis now,
Yeah.
you see, I would comfortably be saying that within the next 3 years, we should be done.
Okay. Now, Chairman, Bamboo Palace project, of which the same question your President General will be able to answer too. Now, the tradition has been to celebrate Bamboo Cultural and Technological Association AGM always in the village, in the palace, to enjoy traditional settings and the atmosphere of the village. This time, out of the village into Douala, how will you look at it?
But this is a challenge because we're almost not holding the AGM this year.
Okay.
But not to let people lose the zeal. You see, we thought it wise to make it out of the village because of the present crisis.
Okay.
You see, notwithstanding, even if we don't make it as we used to do in the village,
all right,
I'm very optimistic that we'll have something reasonable.
All right. So, do we say there will be traditional meal, the normal achu from the Bamboo people and everything?
Of course, we've almost imported everything from Bamboo.
All right.
Yes.
The
traditional meal.
The reason that's left is you have not transported the palace.
The palace of that day will be there.
All right. And when the Royal Highness moves, the palace is moving.
Yes, the palace is moving, yes.
All right, all right. Now, before we take you, any last words concerning Bamboo palace projects and sons and daughters, including friends who are watching you as we speak?
Well, I will first of all appreciate all the Bamboo elites, the Bamboo friends, for all the work, this support they have been doing, giving us, and I want to encourage them to continue. If we leave this project at this level, then all of us have failed, and we must have wasted all the funds. Yes. So, in fact, I plead on them to continue with the same spirit, so that sooner we can go through the project.
All right, thank you for taking your busy time to be with us. We wish you the best as we will be coming constantly to meet the palace moving to Douala, and then from Douala we shall follow the palace back to Bamboo itself.
Amen. Thank you.
Welcome back to the special edition of the Profile revolving around Bamboo Cultural and Development Association. After having spoken to some key actors within the Bamboo Cultural and Development Association setup, we take you this time to discuss another point of view from the President General of Bacuda, who is no other person than Mr. Tambong Valentine. Mr. Valentine, it's a pleasure meeting you.
My pleasure too. Good evening and you're welcome.
All right, and we should be informed that he's also a barrister at law, or what we call a solicitor surely, and so when issues of law are concerned, we will have to be contacting you from time to time. Now, barrister, this is the profile you've gotten, you've heard from what your collaborators have been able to say. Now, when we talk about the Bambui people, what makes Bambui people different from all other people in the Northern region and why not in Cameroon?
Bambui people are so different because Bambui is at the road junction.
Okay.
Bambui is the headquarters of Tuba subdivision.
All right.
The road to Kumbo passes through Bambui.
Okay.
The road to Kom passes through Bambui.
Right.
The road to Bambili passes through Bambui.
Okay.
To Bafut, you can go to Bafut from Bambui without going through Bamenda town.
Okay.
That makes Bambui a road junction, and a road junction has several advantages. You benefit from development fast,
Okay.
because everybody wants to be there. Secondly, Bambui is already a city, if I may say, because the institutions that you have in Bambui, you have the St. Thomas Aquinas Major Seminary, you have the Capuchin Friars,
Okay.
you have one of the first institutions, teachers training colleges in West Cameroon,
Okay.
and in the Republic of Cameroon was in Bambui. I think the St. Peter's Practicing School.
Okay. As teacher practicing school.
Yes, was in Bambui.
Okay.
I think eminent professors like Aletun Tabwe Michael
All right.
passed through that institution.
Okay.
And so Bambui very early has been the seat of education in Tuba, and that's why the people in Bambui are so different.
Okay.
As a cosmopolitan area, there's a convergence of cultures,
Okay.
and Bambui benefits from all of that convergence
All right.
without losing its identity or its Bambuiness.
All right. And we have border with Bafukum, we have Funge. Other small villages around. Other villages around.
Bafukum
Okay.
is in Bambui.
Yeah.
Fingi is in Bambui.
Oh, that's interesting.
So they are sub-chiefdoms
Right.
within Bambui.
Wow. That's interesting.
So, and that makes it even peculiar.
Okay.
Because Fingi is a chiefdom in Bambui, and the language that they speak is not Bambui.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, you're right.
Yes, and
Bafukum
is in Bambui.
Yeah.
The language they speak is not Bambui,
Alright.
but they are all chiefdoms within Bambui, because those are entities that were received by the Bambui
Alright.
community
Okay.
and granted
Autonomy.
autonomy.
All right. So we should say Bambui is very hospitable.
Very, very hospitable.
All right. Now, how do you battle with the challenges of preserving culture, given that it's a cosmopolitan area where development is fast coming? Are you not afraid that the culture might disappear very soon?
No, I don't think the culture can disappear, because culture is the only thing that gives you a real identity.
Okay.
If you lose your culture, you are gone.
All right.
And the Bambui people have maintained their culture, and I'm sure that if you have been to Bambui lately, you'll see that even though the ultra-modern structure is being erected at the Bambui Palace, the traditional cultural structures are still there,
Alright.
and they are maintained year in, year out, because
Alright.
those represent the values that tie the Bambui man to his culture.
Well, it's quite interesting. President General Tamkong Valentine of President General Bacuda talking to us in this special edition of the Profile. Now, President, there are challenges ahead of you. Since you took over office, all has not been well. You were greeted with the current Anglophone crisis, which looks like your smooth march is not as expected. Now, how do you battle with cultural issues, bringing about development within the village setting when sometimes gunshots could be heard left to right?
It's been a very, very, very difficult season, so to say, because we almost didn't organize this year's annual general meeting.
Right.
Yes, because we looked at the challenges and the impact of the socio-political crisis that is presently plaguing the northwest and southwest regions on our people. Almost everybody is out of Bangui. But because of the love that we have for the community, we had to shift the meeting from Bangui to Douala. And when you listened to the project manager, he told you that the levies are 10,000 for women and 20,000 for men. Exactly because of that crisis, we couldn't maintain the levies at 10,000 and 20,000.
Right.
We actually came adjusted the levies to be able to accommodate everybody because of the crisis. So the men are expected to contribute just 10,000 francs, while the women contribute 5,000 francs.
Which does not stop them from contributing even 100,000 francs if they have.
No, if you have, you contribute, but to take it out of that, generally invitations are served on people who are presumed to be well placed. And it is these people who really contribute the bulk of the money, as the project manager said, not the levies.
Now let's look at it. Taking the cultural activities, which should be first of its kind, out from the village setting itself. Have you been able to put in place what it takes to get the old grandmother from the village who will want to come to Kuala to maybe to come and rest a bit from gunshots before going back?
Yes, I think we have carried out enough sensitization. We have informed them, because it is not in the culture of Bacuda to ferry people to where the AGM holds. So what you do is you inform the people, you convince them, and they come on their own. So everybody who is a true lover of Bangui, and I tell you that almost everybody in the village loves what is happening. You need to get to Bangui now and try to sample people's opinions with regards to the project, and you see that everybody is on board. Everybody wants to be associated with the success that is the project.
Now, when we look at your move towards setting up, that we talk about the palace project in Bangui, now there are some persons who seem not to even be concerned at all in those projects. Those are the category of persons who exist, and you know. So, what message do you tell them?
There is no way that you cannot be proud of a successful initiative. And for those people who are staying away, it's because they do not feel the pride of Bangui. And I just want to tell them to brag a little about Bangui, to feel proud of being Bangui people, and to stand up and be counted amongst Bangui people. And standing up and be counted simply warrants you, or it demands you to attend that meeting, see what the Bangui people are doing in sharing love, sharing joy, contributing towards the projects that are in the village, and making Bangui a better place, and giving Bangui the impetus that it should have as the headquarters of Tuba subdivision.
President General, do we have special activities in your AGM as usual? Do we have special display of traditional meal from the Bangui people? Last AGM, we saw the traditional ruler, that is the form of Bangui, putting some wood ash, I don't know, on the face of people, and young men also obtained beers with some awards. Do we see that this time, including Red Feather Award?
Those were blessings, and the fund blesses whenever he thinks that his subjects are doing well. So that cannot be discounted. It cannot be discounted. If the fund comes there and takes the decision, those awards will be.
That's at the discretion of.
Yes, at the discretion of the fund. And I know that the fund is always magnanimous and is always appreciative of what his subjects do.
Now let's get another part of it. We get a presentation in the dialect. Bangui, because we're talking about culture, we get a presentation in the dialect. Maybe you pass a message in the dialect. Let us get culture in action.
abeka wa ti to so bini medi fa awe nkia bu no manda kala izanga ta ka abu nga abu la fa bo mo kan ko zin wa ali no lo te beteji ngia no kan to ban kan ndia wa ali to o ya kan bo en kaba yi bitinin ko zan ka abu bini ka ban kan lo ndia wa ali na ndia wa ali la kan na abu ko ndia wa ali ka fe na ko fa no lo te tum e fa ala shanga ba umni sewe la ga fa kan kono la ji bini ka meeting ko se bini kono no scholarship ye nge scholarship biti primary secondary and high school ni ga kunde a scholarship to ban ku ga ko ga no fa no je ma ye ka fe ko fa ngu ka la kare bunza ka fa na la ambe ga ku ba bini so ye ko abin fe ndi ti ba ta mo ji mo za na be de je no mo de kan nga ba ka de so mo fu mi ambe kam utimbo nga ba fe kan sa ba nga e fa awe bola kam mi ba ka zaman dele fa la ambe mandele go no si ti ten jo yam po nga ma no ma de ko fa no da chi mandele wala go no te nto ose ba ka kam mi te amandele bi ti ji fa de ba abi za bin dia kam ko la ati tu ba tu ma ka ko e fa no se abba ba ka ma ji so abi ni ko wala ni mi a ngwasi ban ka na wala na mbe kan pui ala wala ine lukne mbo mo fumi yawo muju tawo wala to Saturday ngan abini demo no mama am go isin church ni
Mia president. All right, special promotional display from the President General Bacuda talking to us in this special edition of the program. Profile, before we take it from you, any last word?
Yes. I think I can only tell Bangui people that the plane has taken off.
All right.
There are so many people who might have to take the plane when it is doing a connecting flight.
All right.
But it's better to take it when it's doing the connecting flight than never to take it at all. So just put yourselves together and let us take off. Bamboo has taken off, never again to fall.
Thank you very much as we enjoy traditional music. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
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 Abonkia mbalang maboro no kono cha utamcha Hey, Abba, busy. Oh, Mumbu, oh, intended for oh, Nasagani.